feel like we had it even.
Still 110 in Arizona. They're having summer.
We're
Hi,
live.
everyone, and we're live. Hi, everyone. Welcome. This is Karen Newman. This is a Saturday Human Colony Hucolo webinar. It is Saturday, September the 5th, 2020. And today we have our special, wonderful channeler, Jim Charles, with us back again. Hi, Jim.
Hi.
Hi. I'll just go through who we have in the room. We have Dawn, Ian, Elga, Jim, of course, Catherine, Kathy, Christine, that's the C's, Yana, Julie, Keenan, Lilypad, Michelle, Salesh, Safira, Sheer, Stephanie, and YouTube guest, which is also Dawn, I think. So Dawn will be taking care of the YouTube chat. So if you have any questions, you can type them there and he'll be monitoring. So we should start with, do we have any announcements, Jim, or not?
Not at the moment. We're still wrapping up everything from the workshop, and then we'll start some classes. We're going to schedule some classes, some Magic 1 and 2, we have requests for galactic energy healing. Anything that you want to see for a class, please let us know. Have several requests for channeling classes, but we haven't set anything up yet. But please let us send Angie a request if you're interested in any class, and let her know what that class is.
Okay.
So we have several people interested in a bunch of different classes. So please let her know so we can get the classes going again.
Okay, perfect. So let her know, and the email for that is events@hucolo.org,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Did you see how I
think
hesitated? We have both we have both websites, so I have to keep it in my head. Events@hucolo.org. You can mail to Angie. Okay, so we should start with some prayers and then we will do the requests. Is that okay? Okay, we'll start with Kathy. Go ahead, Kathy.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Ashane takosha periu, la shuro takashianu, farima tush la tusiaru, farushi antarinoru, la kuvi patashu sedamaru, torusu eteshi peru, asuru matashi sedamaru, la kuvi pahuturush, asuru manaru fale shurusu, antuku shatare, leda sharu asusu shaane, allosho, anorse farushu talo, ashura sharasi atuvi masu, aturu watane eshei, Asuru ate pakunoro, shanase takosha.
Let God guide and direct in all that you do. Let him become your leader. Let him actually know what you want for your life. Let him know what you want for your world around you. He has greater hopes for you than you could ever possibly imagine. Your hopes fall short of what he can bring to you and what he wants for you. He loves you because you are his children, and because he needs you in this time and this day and this age.
Okay, Dawn, please.
Tara ambas taro ugusta sisinga tayukusha tara haura dia haundura randa asketu si andura sianta ikaro sianta yakahu sianta abayo tolama diska yastu snasti austa kiakta sianti.
The one constant in all the universe is change, and your planet is no different. There is much change coming, and some of it is not positive. That is not to say that it will not work out for the better good of humanity in some ways, but be careful not to allow it to become too great. Your planet is very fragile, and it needs help from very many places, which we are also helping you too. Okay.
All right, thank you. And then lastly, Yana.
Hello, everyone. Ia ko hunu to toa kan tata na ia ke han tata ia ka o toa kan tata. Ai ni ne ke he te ka an tata ai e oa. Har tohu e ka han tata on to o a kan tata e ye ua han tayo no u a. Iu te anta kanta tatanaka e te honu akata, onu akata. Thank you.
Take time to break free from your third dimensional life or whatever dimension you feel that you are in to pay attention to the spiritual realm, the higher realms, and the realms that can feed you in a different way than that of the dimension and density that you live in. Please be aware that there are many wanting to give information to this realm and density that have not given information before. Some of their viewpoints may be very valid and others may not, but take them all in and use what you can and discard the rest. Do not believe everything that you hear, because if you do, you will be very confused. Resonate only with that which is within you.
Thank you. Okay. So I have a list of requests and I'll read them to you. The requests are Elijah, Samuel, Raguel, Christ consciousness, a Fedorian emissary, Nikola Tesla, and the Apu, which are indigenous South American spirits who protect the mountains and the caves. And then Takar. And Takar.
Okay, and Takar.
So,
okay, very good. I will do a little bit of a meditation and I will come back with you. Everybody have positive thoughts and we'll have a really good day today. It's good to see all of you. Much love.
You too. Much love to you.
Greetings, I am Elijah.
Welcome, Elijah.
Thank you. Today I want to speak about something we haven't really talked about before, and that is prayer. Many of you pray deeply and meditate deeply, and I am very happy that you do so, because it does change things, and it does affect the world around you. It affects it in ways you don't even realize. But there are many of you that do not. You pay lip service to prayer, and you say that you pray, and you say that you send out healing, and you say that you do these things, but you're not really doing anything. Please do not say that you are praying for someone if you are not going to. Please don't say that you're going to send out healing to someone if you're not going to. Please don't say that you're going to do anything if you're not actually going to do it. Many people are depending on you as an individual. Your beauty, your life, your energies can help others in incredible ways. But if you are not going to do what you say that you are going to do, then it's not good. They may believe that you are praying for them and you are not. That belief is helpful, I'm sure. But the actual prayers that you send out have an energy all of their own that has a deep resonating thing with God and with the person that you're praying for, or whatever you're praying for. If you're praying for cities or violence or war, these have a deep resonance with God, because prayer goes to God and to whatever you're praying for. Now you're saying, what? It's going two ways? Of course it is. You're praying for someone, so it's going out to that person, but it's also going to God, and he's also sending energy to that person because he is hearing what you're saying. So it is the triangle again. It's coming out and going to the person. It's coming up to God, and then God is sending it to that person. And that is a huge, beautiful healing triangle, or a triangle that will help in very many ways. But if you say that you're going to pray and do not, then that triangle does not exist. Be aware that God is waiting for your prayers. He reflects your prayers into action in some ways. Sometimes you say, I don't think that God answers my prayers. I don't think he hears them. I don't think he welcomes them. But he does. Sometimes the answer is no, and so you won't get much of a result. Sometimes the answer is, this is the way it's supposed to be, and so you don't see much results. But there are times when prayer has miraculous results. I am sure that some of you have seen these things happen, that you have experienced where prayer has done something that is beyond what you can believe. Even during periods of time where your faith is low, prayer can lift you up. Prayer can put you back on the right track. Prayer can make things better. Prayer can make a positive place in you that was not there before. Many of you must learn that this is a day and an age that prayer is necessary. There is great violence in the world, and it's only going to get greater. And I don't mean to say that as a fear, but as a truth. I don't mean to say that to make you nervous or any of these things, but I want to incite you to pray. I want to incite you to bring out your greatest assets within you, your love, your compassion, your wisdom, your beauty. All these things can be sent through prayer to these situations. There are times when you feel hopeless and helpless. Absolutely everyone feels these ways sometimes. But God has you in his hand. God has you in his sight. God has you in his presence. You say, I don't feel his presence. I don't see myself in his presence. But you are there because in the stillness, in the silence, in those places where you do not feel God, he is still present. If it was necessary for him to make the rocks speak to you, he would. He has spoken through many things and written on walls and spoken through jackasses. He has spoken through the unfaithful even, because he needs to get through to the faithful. He needs to get through to those that need to hear what he has to say. Many of you are hearing and listening to all kinds of things online about political things and about who's doing what and what are they saying about this, and most of it is garbage. You're filling your mind with things that are unnecessary instead of filling yourself with God, filling yourself with peace and tranquility, love and guidance. You're listening to garbage and filling yourself up with untruths. Some of these things are not necessary for you to know because they will never come about. Now, in the political agenda, yes, you must listen and pay attention to who you are going to vote for, that is your responsibility. But make sure that you're getting the truth and that you're not just hearing something and not checking it out. Some of these things that they're sending out are not true. And some of the things that you think are not true are true. Because I can't believe he would say that. I don't believe it, so I'm not going to. But you didn't check it out. Check it out. Make sure that what you are hearing and knowing is the truth. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Because there's so much untruth out there. And it's very damaging to all of you. Not just one or two. It's damaging to the nation. Look at the place where your nation is now. A lot of violence. There's a lot of things going on. Who is causing all this? Where is it coming from? You must pray about these things because they're coming from all directions. They're coming to steal your truth away from you. But don't allow that. God has the truth for you. And you know that love, unconditional love, faith, beauty, compassion, these things are truth. These things are part of what you should be embracing. Some of these things that you are embracing are violent in nature in some ways. Some of these things that you are embracing have anger, make you angry, fill you with negative feelings. Is that what you want? Is you want to be incited that way constantly? You must understand that is what they are trying to do. They are trying to divide you, separate you, and make you feel less. I do not know how to tell you how God feels, for only He can tell you that Himself. But turn to Him. Beseech. He beseeches you to turn to Him. Find the truth of what He says. Pray about everything that you find, that you hear, that you know. You must pray about it all. Pray for your family. Pray for your friends. Pray for your nation. Pray for the world. Pray for peace. Pray for the essential. Pray for the truth to be evident to you. Pray for the things that you desire in the depths of your heart that you believe God can bring to you and that will make you a better person. Pray for all of those things and more. I am only here to tell you that prayer is a power that you do not understand. Prayer is a power that is greater than you can possibly imagine. It has been proved scientifically that it works. But I won't go into that right now. But I love you all. And I want you to be all in a good place with God. This is a time to find your place with Him and time to be close to Him because it is a dangerous time that you live in. And those that live out in the country, not quite as dangerous, but those that live in the inner cities and close to the cities, a little more dangerous. But there will be things happening all over the world that you have not yet imagined that will happen. There's rumors of things, there's thoughts of things, but just be prepared in your heart for what is going to come. For you do not know which things are true and which are not. Pray for God to protect you and God to be with you and guide you. I know that sometimes I ramble. I like to do that. It's not something that other people like, but I do.
We like
But
it.
I just want to say to you this. I love each and every one of you, and I want you to feel that love that I have for you, just like God wants you to feel his love. But it's very difficult sometimes because of the harshness of this density and this dimension. Of course, you're in the midst of changing dimensions and densities, so it makes it a little bit harder. You might be just a little out of phase with your emotions, but get in touch with God and get in touch with your emotions and get in touch with who you are and grow yourself into that person that is proud to be you. If you are not proud to be you, if you are not proud to stand up and be counted as you, then you are not there yet. Because God wants you to be proud of yourself in the sense that he created who you are. So you want God to be proud of who you are within you, but it's not the kind of pride that brags or that is boastful, but it is the kind of pride that has confidence in God and the things that you know God will help you do. Confidence in God and pride are a little different. But I hope you understood that properly.
Thank you
Let
very
him
much.
fill you.
There's
What?
there's some questions for you if you are willing to accept them.
All right, I will take a question.
Okay, there's a question from Kathy. Go ahead, Kathy.
Thank you, Elijah, for speaking with us this morning. This isn't my question, but because you were speaking about prayer so much, I'm getting the impression that many of us don't pray the correct way. Would you elaborate on how the correct way to pray would be?
I know the Bible teaches a correct way to pray, but it is outdated. The correct way to pray is with the heart and with your desires. You have a certain way to pray for everyone around you and everything in the world. There is a time to pray for your friends and family. There is a time to pray for the world. There is a time to pray for healing. But people seem not to even go into that. They don't even start a prayer. They say, "Dear God, I don't even know how to pray." Your prayer languages, the way you pray with your prayer language does know how to pray for you, does know how to pray for everything, does know how to pray for the world. And so you can use that if you don't know how to pray for something. But he also wants to hear what you have to say, because that's the voice of the spirits, of the angels, of the aliens, of whoever it is that is speaking. He wants to also hear you pray. And your prayers should come from the heart and from a place of love and a place of desire for others to be healed, for others to be lifted up, for others to be awakened in this day and age, because it's so important that everything comes into the right thought process. But it is not that there is an improper way to pray. It is just that people don't even stop to do it. It is like they don't even think it is important. So I'm telling you that it is important to stop and take a moment and pray. If you want to learn how the Bible prays, there is a guideline for that. He prays for the food that you eat, your mother and father, everything around you. Yes, there is all of that and more. But in this day and age, you must take the time to pray for this at this moment, and this at this moment, and this at this moment. You must stop during your day and not just be praying one time a day, but many times a day, constantly in prayer, because this is the day and age that continuous prayer is necessary. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, it does very much. Thank you.
You're welcome.
My other question, yesterday in my meditation, I called you in and asked for clarity on a situation. And the vision that you showed me, I have a feeling was multi-purpose. And I wanted to ask if you could explain it. You had shown me, I'd asked why things have to happen in such a destructive way and what the meaning is behind it. And you had shown me a rainstorm and mud and things emerging from the mud. And I have a feeling that that was a dual meaning of how the earth is at this time. Can you tell us where we are emerging from the mud, what stage we're at, and explain a little bit more about what that meant?
Well, the vision that I gave you is about the rains are coming now, but there will be more rain later. But destruction, the rain, even though the rain is beautiful and is healthy, can also cause destruction. So therefore, when you're looking at nature, nature can be beautiful, nature can be wonderful, but it can also be destructive. This is about the nature of man as well. You may see that there is a beauty in someone, and it is a wonderful thing, but they have turned it to a destructive way. Let me explain. They believe that God is telling them to be violent. They believe that violence for God is good. And that is a twist of truth. Just like the rain can destroy a home or flood an area and wash away the homes. Is that what the rain is meant for? Not really. The rain is meant for nourishing the flowers, the plants, the trees. But if it's taken and brought into an overwhelming state, then it's destructive. So you must understand to keep everything in its place, to keep everything in a moderation of thought processes within you and not go overboard on the hatred portion, the anger portion, and the destructive portion of your being. There is that within you, but if you let it guide you, that is not God's will. And so, as the storms are a symbol of destruction from something that is absolutely beautiful, so I am telling you that there is beauty in all things, but it can become destructive in some way if you allow it.
Okay, thank you. That's all. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Sheer has a question.
Hello, how are you?
I am well.
I'm currently reading the trilogy Conversation with God, if you're familiar with that.
I haven't read any modern day books, but I am familiar with what people speak about that.
Okay, so in that book, it is suggested that when you pray for things that you already have. Instead of asking for money, you should thank for the money that you have and will be given. So you will be coming out of perspective of wealth and not demand. Not that you should show the universe that you're already having those things and you realize that you have all of those things that you wish, and not asking for things and show the universe that you don't have those things. What is your take on that?
I believe that's true. You should be thanking God for all the things that you have. You should be thanking God and praising Him for the things that are around you, that keep you safe, that are with you already. You should not be uh, asking for things that you don't need. You should just be asking and praising Him for the things that you have and coming from a heart that is thankful instead of a heart that is needy, because the things that you need are health, beauty. Well, you need beauty as well, but health is something that you need. And thank Him for the health that you have so that it may continue and be even greater, because He is looking in and saying, they are grateful for the gifts that I have given. I will pour on them more gifts because they are grateful for them. If you have someone that's always asking, asking, and asking, he is going to see that that is coming from a place of selfishness and not a place of selflessness. And when you are thanking him for all the things that you have, you are knowing that God has been with you already and will continue to be with you. And so, yes, I agree with that point of view. I agree that praise and thanksgiving and understanding that what he has already given you is um, absolutely amazing. And that is what you should thank him for first and foremost. If there is something that you absolutely need in this realm, do you think that God does not know what that is? And if you are thanking him every day, no matter what, he is going to continue to pour his gifts on you because he is thankful that you recognize his giving to you. Not that he needs your praise, not that he needs to be uh, puffed up. He is just thanking you for who you are and how you see him because he did create you. It's like you saying thank you to your mother or your father. He is Mother, Father, God, and you must thank him for all that he has given to you. Is there a second part of that question?
No, thank you.
Okay, thank you. There's a question from Lilypad. Go ahead, Lilypad.
Hello, Elijah. Thank you.
You're
I have a
welcome.
question. 12 years ago, my partner, he had a motorcycle accident and he was in coma. He came back. As the times go by, he said to me that he's not the same person. And what I noticed is that he became very different. Sometimes I think he's not there. Like yesterday, he came to see, I mean, I saw him like it wasn't him. I mean, I see his body, but I sense that, does he have any case walk-ins or negative attachment? Am I wrong? Or what's going on with him? Because one time he said, sometimes I'm sane, sometimes I'm insane. I don't think he realized what's going on. So I think when he had the accident, that was his time in this planet, in this earth, his life. I don't know how that works, but so that's what I feel like now. A new person came. I don't know what something is going on.
Well,
I just don't know I don't know.
When someone goes into a coma from something of that nature, that means that the brain was damaged. And when you talk about brain damage and coming out of a coma, you're talking about a change, sometimes a change because the brain has changed because of trauma. Now, he has a hard time relating to coming back after such a while because things were a little different. How long was he in the coma?
I think it was 2 weeks. I'm not sure, I can't remember, but I think yeah,
Yes.
maybe 2
When
weeks.
you are
I'm not
not,
sure.
yes. When you are out of touch with the world and your brain has been damaged, you are not going to be the exact same person as you were. And sometimes that can open up different thought processes for different people. They wonder why this happened. They wonder why they feel this way. They're constantly thinking about what is changing within them. They need prayer because they are turning to alternate thought processes to make sense of what happened to them. So you need to pray for them diligently so that they become understanding of what's going on with that brain change. Or you can pray for that brain to come back to a normal, established thought process. Because I see that what happened here was this accident actually changed how he thought. And so now he doesn't think the same. Now he's a different person. And he feels that because of that, something has maybe taken a hold of him. And that is possible. He may have invited in something unpleasant. He might have invited in something out of anger because of this accident. So please pray for him and actually talk to him about how he feels right now in this body and that what he thinks about God and how he feels towards this world. You need to find out where he's at so that you can actually pray properly for him.
Well,
But
actually,
if you have a light language that you speak,
no.
speak that for him because it will speak to the problem greater than you can possibly imagine.
Well, one time he told me there are some stuff or beings or something was coming through his head and he was fighting it. So I started praying, but it seems like it's never stop. And then he cannot judge me when he's not himself, or shout or get angry or blame me for everything. Well, some of
It
stuff.
sounds like he's very angry about, he has not come to terms with everything that has happened to him. So he is very angry within, and he needs a lot of prayer. But what he really needs is to do, he needs somebody to talk to that has he needs a professional to talk to because they know how to help him get back into his regular brain function and thought process. I do believe that some people can help others with these things. I know that some people say psychiatry is not a good thing, but talking out your problems and having someone help you and lead you back into a normal thought process can be very helpful.
Okay, thank you.
But prayer is definitely needed for everyone.
Thank you. Christine has a question.
Greetings and blessings, Elijah.
Yes.
I was wondering, I'm not the type of person to sit down and go through creating these prayers or saying this and that or whatever, but is it the same thing as going out into the backyard maybe and just opening my heart and thinking, just doing the feeling thing? Is that the same as prayer?
It can be. If you are doing the feeling with God in mind,
Yes.
with God's creation and his nature and the beauty of his creation all around you, opening yourself up to God's love and his beauty all around, yes, that can be a form of prayer. It's like a meditation where you are bringing in nature, the emotions that you feel when you see nature, thanking God for nature. And I think you thank him for your animals and your the love that you share with your pets and things of that nature.
I do.
Prayer can be what you make it. Now, there are situations when you will need to actually say to him, Please, God, be with me now for this situation, for to help me forgive someone, for to help me to move forward with this. Be grateful for all the things that are around you and that He has given you, but you also must grow and ask Him to help you with that growth.
One of the things that I found recently is I tried to read some very spiritual people's prayers or whatever, and I just think that I don't feel comfortable with them at all. Like they're beyond my thing. So instead, what I found is a book on earth prayers, or prayers that are not prayers, but poems that take into consideration all that's around us. Is that the same as reading that? Is that the same as a prayer? Just
It can be. I see that you're looking at older prayers from different centuries and different times, and these prayers may not relate to you in any way, and you may not feel a relationship to them because they're using language and thought processes that just don't connect with you. But remember this, prayer is from your own heart. It is not from someone else's heart. It is from your own heart and your own mind, so that when you're reading someone else's prayer, you may not be able to relate to that. If you relate to something that is beautiful that you read, you can make that into a prayer to God if you just add His name to it. Thank you, God, for this beautiful writing. Thank you, God, for letting me see what this means and how it feels and how to know you better, because we come into the knowledge of God in so many different ways, from His beauty, His creation, from beautiful wordings, from understandings. But you must take into consideration how you feel. What your heart expresses to God is something deeply personal, and that is what is important.
And that is what I find difficult, to do this whole bunch of prayer or words or whatever to put into it. To me, it's easier just to say thank you, thank you, thank you, and feel it, than go through this whole paragraph of descriptive thank you. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I know what you're saying. And I agree with you. You must do something that has meaning. If it has no meaning, then it has no meaning, period. If you are connected to it with your heart and your mind and your spirit and your emotions, then it has meaning. So if you're just trying to say words, that's not a prayer. A prayer is from the heart. Thank you is a beautiful prayer. Praise you, God, is a beautiful prayer. These are the prayers that are most felt by the heart. But you can also say, please help my friends and neighbors. That's not just words. Those are things that should have meaning to you. Help me to be a better person. That should have meaning to you. That doesn't have to be written in a book. It doesn't have to come from any pages anywhere. It just has to come from within. Just from within.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Okay, there's a question from Michelle. Go on, Michelle.
Hi, Elijah. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
I have a question about President Trump, and I just would like your perspective on it. Our prayer circle puts him in a bubble of protection every day. It's come to our attention that he may have been compromised by an off-planet being. Whether that's true or not, that's come to our attention. and the second part of my question is it true that every leader on the planet has capitulated to President Trump?
As what?
Is in agreement with him, capitulated, like in agreement with him to, bring in the, let's say, the Gesara law, let's say, bring in the new energies. So he's in tune with all leaders on the planet. They've agreed to assist him to bring in the new energies on the planet.
Well,
yeah. So I need to know, has he been compromised? Firstly.
Well, every leader on this planet needs prayer, and you are praying for him and putting him in a bubble. Everyone needs prayer. Yes, every leader needs prayer. He has been compromised many times, as so has many other leaders. And I cannot say that every leader is in agreement with him or capitulating with him. No, that is not true. In fact, there are many leaders that are trying to stop him. There are those from China. Those leaders do not even want him to be alive. So not every leader is in agreement with him. But prayer for all the leaders of the world, yes, that is something that you need to do. But you should not put him above any other leader at this point. I don't know why that anyone would do that, because what are you saying by doing that?
Just that he does the good and right thing for all people on the planet, that he is leading,
Do you believe that?
For him to have well, I've watched a couple of YouTube videos, well, many YouTube videos by a channel that I have a lot of faith in, that really resonates with me, and that's what they're saying is they're doing this. The leaders are like,
be vigilant. There is no one. The only one that will rise up that will be great will be the Antichrist, that will stop all and make the world peaceful. That will be the Antichrist. But I don't see him as that. I also don't see him as the leader of the world. But this is just me. You can believe whatever you wish. I see him as a man, and I see him as doing the best that he can. I see him as many things, but I am not here to give my opinion of one person. He is just one of your leaders, and you must pray for all of your leaders. But I cannot align myself with him, because I do not know his true heart. You may think that you know everyone's true heart, and they may know his true heart, but he is not someone that I am coming to talk about or coming to align with. I love President Trump. I love all the beings on this planet. I love everyone, but I am not going to align myself with one particular person.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, great. There's a question for Rika from Rivka. Sorry, Rivka. There's a question from Rivka.
Yes, I'm on. Hello, everybody. Hello. Blessings, Elijah. I have a question about when I do my light languages. It's in a kind of meditated state or spontaneous. There are prayers or for healing. Is that okay?
Yes, your prayers, if they are true from the heart, that is beautiful and wonderful. Why would they not be okay?
Sometimes it goes spontaneous from the 1 second to another second, and I'm in a different state of being. And then
Yes.
I don't know if it's coming from the heart. It's yes, it's a kind of 0 point. I'm
But
in.
the thing is, these things that are coming from you are coming from within.
Yes.
So they are coming from the heart, the mind, the alignment of all your being. So if they are a positive outburst into the world, then they're welcome. God welcomes that, a positive outburst, and healing and loving and understanding and unconditional love. Beautiful. Yes, I love that.
Okay, thank you very much. Much
You're
love.
welcome.
Okay, thank you. Just 1 second. I believe that's the last question. Don, did you have any questions from the YouTube?
I do have one question.
Okay.
This is from Big Feet, and his
Okay.
question is, isn't prayer more of an affirmation reflecting to one's self from self in order to evoke more self-empowerment?
It can be that, but it's not just that. It's much more than that. It can do that, absolutely. And that's a beautiful use for prayer. But prayer is also outgoing. It's not just for self, it's for the entire world around you. It's for the edification and upbringing of all things that are positive in your world. So, yes, although you can use it for personal edification, personal enlightenment, but it is also to be used to pray for the things out there that are not correct, that are not in alignment with what God wants. So pray that there is peace. Pray that there is no war. Pray. Now, some of you say, well, there needs to be violence. There needs to be war. Yes, maybe there does. But pray that it is in God's will. Pray that whatever happens, God will put his hand on it, that good will come from it. Good will come from it. Because all things work together for good to those who love the Lord, to love God. And I know that's a very Christian aspect, but I'm from the Old Testament. What do you expect? So, but I do believe in many other religions as well. The Hindu, Muhammad, many religions have beautiful and uplifting thought processes and prayers that reach God's ears and heart. It is not that I am just spouting for one religion or one particular aspect of God, but all the aspects of God that you know of are valid. Let him speak to you in his own way.
Thank you, Elijah. I have just one more question from the chat here. This is from AJ, and his request is, can we request a healing, please?
I can request healing for everyone and pray for healing and send out healing energy with prayer. But also, there is healing energies in this group. Many of the people in this group have great healing energies and use it daily to do what they need to do.
Thank you, Elijah.
You're welcome.
Saphira, I think you're next.
Yes, Saphira is next.
Oh, thank you. Hello, Elijah.
Yes.
Okay, I have had people say this to me about prayer, and I couldn't really give an answer. So I'm asking you, please. Why do we need to pray for other people when God is with each person? God loves each person. God knows the hair on every hair on our heads according to the Bible. Why do we have to pray for people when God is already with them and knows them and is loving them? That's a question that has been posed to me. And, yeah.
Because prayer is an energy that helps other people. Let me tell you this. Does God reach down and help you? Yes. Does he have to do that? No. Does he help everyone? Not everyone wants help from God. So you can pray for God to open their eyes. You can pray for God to help them feel him, understand him, awaken them, heal them. You must pray for each other because it actually strengthens you to pray. If you say, what's the point of praying? I'm not going to pray for anybody. You do not get the benefit of praying for other people. When you pray for other people, when you pray and ask God to help others, he helps you. He is with you. He is edifying you. So this is part of the reason why you pray for the world. This is part of the reason why you pray for others. This is part of the reason why you send prayer outside of your internal. So God works with you because you are his vessel. You are who he's working through. If you don't pray, how does he know to use you? How does he know who is giving their time to him? How does he know where your energy is given? And so this is about you as well as others. Does that make sense to you?
Yes. I just want to smile from ear to ear. I'm trying, and that's not that you think I'm laughing, but it feels very joyful, your answer, if I can say it that way. But yeah.
Yes, because as you are praying for others, God is ministering to you because you're praying. He's strengthening you. He's enlightening you. He's filling you because you are doing this unselfish thing. So that is why.
Okay, that's a beautiful, very inspiring point of view. Now, the person I'm praying for, or somebody is praying for, aren't there angels and spirit guides with them? Like, what does the prayer actually technically do? Does it go to God's heart and he sends people, extra people to that person?
Yes, I was explaining earlier, the prayer goes to them first. It goes to God also. So you have a two-way, when you're praying, it goes to God and it goes to the whoever or whatever you're praying for. And then God sends his energy to that person or thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a triangle of love.
Mm-hmm.
Your prayer goes out to God, your prayer goes out to that person, and then God's love and prayer goes to that person or thing. Now you have angels all around you. Do you ever know people that are don't have any connections with angels or spirits and don't want any connections with angels or spirits? So angels are not going to be hanging around people that are going to say get lost. So they're going to be hanging around people that want them to be there, that want them to hang it. Or if you send them to somebody that you want their eyes opened, their spirit opened, remember, the angels are with you because you believe in God. Your spirit is emitting light and energy, and they know where to go to minister to those people. So, of course, there's angels all over the world, but not everybody wants them around. In fact, many people are very third dimensional and don't even believe in God.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So your prayers, sending out prayers to those people, may help to wake them up, because the angels are not going to appear to them, not usually, unless they have an amazing mission that they need to be woke up right now. But you understand what I'm saying.
I do.
You need to send out. You need to be the one.
Mhm.
You need to be the beginning of prayer, the fire that sends out the energy to the world.
Thank you, Elijah.
You're welcome.
Mhm.
Is that all for me for today?
I believe so. Thank you
Very
so
well.
very much for your beautiful, beautiful message. It always feels like you're speaking directly to each one of us. And so that's so appreciative. We're so appreciative of that.
Well, today I took questions. I don't usually do that, but I think it was necessary today.
I think so too.
Much love to you all. And
Much-
this is my blessing in closing. May God lift each and every one of you from the bottom of your feet to the top of your head. Let him fill you with his presence and his love, his guidance, his understanding, and his mercy, his grace. Let him cover you with his grace. Grace meaning that you already believe, and grace is his protection. Let him know you more and more. Bring him into every fiber of your being so that you know him more and more, and he will lift you up and bring you into a place where you cannot believe it's true. It will be so beautiful, so wonderful, and so amazing.
Thank you.
You just have no idea. Thank you, God, for all those that are listening now, for all those that will hear your word. Bless them all. Amen.
Amen.
Greetings, I am Takar.
Welcome to Kerr.
Yes, I'm only here for a brief moment. There was some questions, I believe.
Sheer
And
has
then,
a question for you. Sheer can go first. Sheer, are you
yes,
there? Sheer.
is he still here?
He's
If
still there.
not, all right.
I just don't know if he's here. He might have stepped away. Sheer, are you there? Does anyone else have a question for Takar?
All right. Well, perhaps I came too soon.
I choose to Kerr, if I might.
Yes.
Hello. Is that okay, Karen?
Well, sure, go ahead.
Thank you.
Best when you put your name in the chat, though.
I know, but he should. So I don't like Chigurh was leaving unless I stepped up. So that's why. Okay.
I understand. Yes. All right.
Chigurh. So we heard there's going to be meetings in November. Is this just the general government? Is it husbands, wives government? And what date is it? So we can pray for it?
Well, it will be all of these things. There will be the regular government meetings, but since all of these issues are political, they will be included in the government meetings.
Mm-hmm.
So as we are speaking now, all the government meetings will include everything that is considered political. And the government meetings will start on November 27th.
On the 27th, okay. I was using my pendulum to ask about the government meeting concerning husbands, wives, and I got that there was some good news. I don't know if you're allowed to, probably you wouldn't tell me what it is, but is there good news about it, or was that just?
Well, I don't know if it's good news, but they are considering some plan of action that may be considered good news for some of you. It has not been put into action as of yet, so I can't mention what it is.
Okay.
But the thing is, there's some good news. I don't know how well you will take it, but government meetings are coming up, and they're apt to change their mind at any time about anything. So
right.
I do not keep tabs on them daily because it changes far too often.
Okay. Did you mean I personally may not like it, or generally when you said
Generally, they generally may not like it.
I get it. Okay. Thank you so much, Takar.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
Did she return?
Sheer, are you back here? Sheer? I don't believe, yes, he is. He's back. Hi, Sheer, it's Takar.
How are you doing, Takar?
I am well. And yourself?
Actually, I'm doing pretty good. It seems that I'm going through very positive changes recently for quite a while, so I'm very pleased with that. I mostly want to ask you to come here because I kind of miss you. It's been a while since I've spoken with you.
I see.
And hope that you're doing well and that everything is also well in the political arena.
Well, on a personal note then, since you brought it up, everything is going very well. We have been monitoring the Earth. We're not exactly pleased with everything that we see on your planet. The ascension process has been slowed down to some extent, but it will pick back up. We are confident. So as we are looking at your world and the closing of it and now the reopening of it, in some ways, it is a changed place and will bring many changes in the future as well. And on a personal note, in my life, everything's fine, but your world, we're still working with it. I hope that we'll be able to help even more.
Do you think that in Israel we have a saying, going down in order to go up, which means you're slowing down so you could actually pick up the pace later? Do you think it's one of those moments that everyone should, experience all of these intense emotions, energies to see how their freedom is being compromised, how their way of living was very wasteful, and afterwards change will come in a much faster pace because of it?
All I can say is you will see what happens. I cannot tell you the future, but I can tell you that I see many different things happening in the final parts of this year and the beginnings of next year. It's a roller coaster ride that you will witness or be part of.
Okay, thank you very much for coming. It's always good to speak with you. Thank you. Much
you
love.
are welcome. And is there any other questions?
Yes, there's several questions. Next is Catherine. Go ahead, Catherine.
Very well.
Hi, Takar.
Greetings.
Greetings. I was given some symbols for a few years ago for some new, very powerful healing energies that would be coming. And I know we're starting to go through some really tough purification type of times. I was wondering if you could see those energies and how close they are to us. Thank you.
The energies are right on you, actually. There are many different energies from the universe, from the galactic areas coming to the Earth at this time. Protections and healing modalities and things of this nature. So yes, these things have they have energy and power. You will have to learn how to use them properly, and there will be a way for them to be put into your system so that they can be part of your healing energy.
Okay, and I have a follow-up question. Will we be using those at the human colonies and teaching them to others so that they could use it?
I hope so.
Perfect. Thank you.
You will have to share them. There is the galactic energy healing. Are you aware of that?
Yes, I am.
Very good. Then those symbols may be added to it.
Okay, how, I guess we'll work together in
Well,
my
you'll
dream
have to
state.
show me what they are.
Okay,
I can
perfect.
see a couple of them, but not all of them.
Okay, excellent.
Very well.
Thank you. Okay, there's a question from Julianne. Julianne, can you unmute and ask your question or no?
Oh, yes.
Great, go ahead.
Hi, Takar.
Greetings.
Can I ask greetings? Can I ask a guidance? We're in Manteca, a best place to move, or is it time for us to move in other places?
There are messages from on high to some people for places to move and guidance to move, because you may be in an area that might be in danger in the near future or in the distant future even. So those are to be looked at very carefully. Are you in a city area?
No.
Are the reasons for you moving because you want to get closer to a city?
It's somewhat, yeah.
But not in a city. Okay. There may be reasons for this, to get closer to healing groups and things of that nature. So listen to your guidance. It may be time for you to move. I believe you feel it is. And I also am getting the impression that it is.
Yes, but we were thinking about in Manteca area, but we are kind of, you know, we're gonna be in exact place for the best environment for the kids. That's why.
Of course. Yes. You'll just have to do a little studying on what is the best environment. Are they in a good environment now?
Nah, it's all right, but they're going to other city for their school, so that's why I want.
See.
Yes.
It is perhaps, I would check out the educational system in the place where you're looking at. Water.
Okay.
I would look at the educational system in that new area to make sure that it is better or at least equal to what your children are experiencing at this time.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Okay, there's a question from Kat. Go ahead, Kat.
Yes, hello, Takar.
Greetings.
I have a question about what about Canada? Lately, I see the government imposes or local government imposes rules of masking, and they keep talking about vaccines. And this is the second time I'm saying it. I kind of see like, where is it going? What about Canada? Do I have to think, is it safe anymore, or?
You have to look at, is anywhere safe at this point? There could be breakouts of violence anywhere in the world at this time. There are certain energies about your world that are being amplified, and the anger that people are feeling is becoming amplified, and people are actually trying to make the violence worse than it originally should be. And these things are happening on your planet everywhere. So Canada is safer than most places, I would believe. And the wearing of the mask is hopefully only temporary, but I see that many people that are still very afraid will be afraid to leave their homes if masks were to be removed. But the time is come for some areas to return to normal, I would think.
Well, here Walmart, they put mandatory masks. They have mandatory masks. It's been 2 weeks ago. Public transit, they started these days to have, and it seems like they try to brainwash the population so that they can play their agenda, vaccination.
Well, the
and
thing
stuff.
is, did they just started doing this, or has this been going on for a while?
No, they just started doing this. This is on, so public transit, it's been like a week. It's mandatory mask. Walmart, which is it's pretty
Are
big
there
here.
more breakouts in your area?
No. I
Then
don't
I do
see.
not know why they're encouraging this other than a political agenda. But the thing is, you must trust that eventually things will change. You must trust that I'm not allowed to tell you the future. So I can only tell you that I know the reasons why they're doing this, and they do want people to fall in line and be fearful of the disease and things of this nature. But learn for yourself what is going on around you. Learn what the disease is doing. Learn where the disease is at, and then you will understand where your head should be at.
I'm me. This thing, the disease is like out of my reality. It doesn't touch me. But I go to work. I make my living, and I feel like I'm doing it. I might be doing it for nothing, because in a moment or another, what I'm gaining, it's worth nothing. The city I live, it might not be livable, and it doesn't.
This is a good time for prayer. Keep a positive outlook, but also be cautious. No one knows what's going to happen, and I can't tell you. Even if I did know, I couldn't tell you. But you must be cautiously optimistic as you move forward. If you keep a cautiously optimistic attitude, then you'll be doing all the right things at the right time.
Okay, good. We can do
Very
that.
well.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. All right.
There's more questions? Oh, there's
yes.
many questions, yeah.
There's more?
Yes, several more. Michelle Mullet has a question for you. Go ahead, Michelle.
Yeah.
Thanks, Karen.
Michelle?
Okay. Sorry, I got Elijah's take on the question I had with regard to President Trump. And my question was, has he been compromised by an off-planet being? What comes to me is Thoth. Has he been compromised by Thoth in any way?
He's been compromised by off-planet beings, yes.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I won't go any further than that. And we're continuing, our group is continuing to send him healing, for him with the intention that he has integrity to do the good and right thing for those he represents. So we'll just continue with that.
All right. Very well.
Yes, thanks very much.
Continue to pray for all your leaders. They are important at this time. And it's the leaders of the world need help at this time. They're put in a place where they are compromised. More than one are compromised by off-world beings in some ways. The reptilian agenda is grandfathered into your planet, but they are still off-world beings.
Thank you. There's a question from Dawn. Do you want to ask your question, or? Dawn?
Could you ask it, Karen, please? I was busy with something else.
Okay, sure. There's some, well, Who was asking about the colonies?
Okay, hang on a sec.
Oh, we'll come back to you. We'll come back to
Okay.
you.
Yeah, I
Just
have a
let me know when
question.
you're ready. Kate has a question. Go ahead, Kate.
Thank you. Good morning, Takar. I have been suggested to me to take the Galactic Energy Healing course to further get me going in my ability with communicating and Reiki on the animals. I have been advised to talk to you about that in some way. Could you enlighten me, please?
Well, you have the information that you need, but I can talk to you personally about that. That's a lot of personal information that we should discuss on our own. But you already have the abilities to do many things and are on your way to do a lot more. This is a very enlightening time for you. You're growing very quickly, as are many of the other people here, I must say. And it's an exciting time for you.
Yes. I thank you for
You're
exactly
welcome. Yeah.
Okay, there's a question from Rivka. Go ahead, Rivka. Rivka? Okay, maybe she's not there. All right,
Yes, I am here.
Okay.
I was unmuted. Greetings, Takar. I was advised to leave the border of Amsterdam at the end of the year. But my question is, have I any space to the next beginning of 2021?
I would think so. I do not know. I think you're asking if you have a space.
Yes, a little bit more time than at the end of the year, January, February.
Give that some prayer. Right now, that is uncertain. That's uncertain right now.
Okay.
So I do not know.
Okay, I will pray for it. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, there's a question from the YouTube chat from Big Feet. He says, "Good day, Takar. Can I ask you if you actually have a third dimensional body, or are you of a higher density level? Do you not use a bio body?"
I do have a body. It's not third dimensional. It is fourth dimensional, but it is from, I can come down to third dimensional. We have the ability to do that, but we're not permitted at this time. But I do have a fourth dimensional body, and we are in the ships around the planet. There are 15 ships around the planet.
Okay. All right, Don has a question. Go ahead, Don.
Thank you, Karen. Okay, this is from Katie Angels. Thank you, Takar. My question is to do with the attunement of galactic Reiki. When I am to this point of having attunement for the first level, will it be to give me this attunement? Thank you.
Nee, geen eten. Je hebt gehad. Ga maar slapen.
Rivka, can you please mute yourself, please? Okay, go ahead. Sorry, Takar.
That's okay. The attunements take a while to do. They're not like just zap, you have an attunement. They're ritual attunements that put in all the different things, all the different symbols into your system. And this takes, for one person, it would take about 10 to maybe 15 minutes to do that. So I can't do that right now.
Okay, and there's one more question from Stephen Helms, and he is asking, have I been to the colonies lately?
Oh yes, Stephen, you have. Actually, just 2 weeks ago, it was, and you went to Colony 1, colony 4, colony 6 and 7. So yes, I hadn't seen you there for a while, but it was good to see you.
Thank you. And okay, this is another one from Crossover 93. I'd like to ask, which star family do I belong to or descend from?
Let's see. One moment, please. You are from a, you're from Orion. Your star family is from Orion. But you also have a starseed family in the Pleiades. It's a little more distant, but they are still aware of you.
Thank you. And that's all pretty well the questions I have for today. Thank you, Takar.
Very well. Perhaps I should bring someone else in.
Okay.
Karen, is there any more questions?
Yes, there are. There's one more question from Sheer. Sheer,
Yeah.
did you had another question? Or not?
No, it's okay. Thank you.
Okay. All right. And Safira had one last question, if she could.
Yes.
Thank you. It's a philosophical question about dimensions because I was at the Ascension workshop. We learned about dimensions and densities, and dimensions are just a matter of the mathematics of how a particular space is built and how it functions mathematically within, well, I won't say within time and space because not everything functions like that, but you know what I mean, right? Okay.
Yes, I am understanding.
So thank you. So the Earth is going through an ascension to another dimension. Is this because everything moves up in a spiral and the Earth has no choice but to move to the next dimension? And whether humans are ready or not, it's going to happen because that's different from the density, which is a vibration.
Correct.
Is that right? So
well,
we have no choice, in other words, right?
The thing is, what you're not seeing here is this.
Yeah.
An ascension can be stopped by the destruction of a world. If the species is destroyed, the ascension is also stopped. But they will go on to back into energy, back into the oversoul, the creator realms, the angel realms, wherever they go. And that the ascension of that planet and that species will stop. But yes, if they continue to survive, they will have an ascension process eventually, but it can divide. Some will stay third dimensional and others will move into a higher dimension because those that are not awake and are not, their density does not change, they will stay behind. Now we hope that in an ascension process that a majority of the people from a species or a planet will ascend properly, but it doesn't always happen that way.
So
eventually the second half will ascend sometime in the future.
Okay, thank you. Let's say that there were no humans on the Earth, because just theoretically, nobody ascended. We're all energy. There's just a planet. The planet would become a fourth dimensional planet because it is moving in the solar system in a certain.
If the planet was not inhabited by a soul, like Gaia, or your planet is inhabited by a soul, so your planet will ascend with the humanity. But if it's just a rock in space, no.
That's why I'm doing it. Just watch me do it. Don't attempt.
Okay. Thank you, Takar.
You're welcome.
Okay. Thank you so much, Takar. I think that's the last question.
Very well. Then I will bring someone in.
All right.
One moment, please. Much love to you all.
Much love to you.
Greetings. I'm
Greetings.
Raguel.
Greetings, Raguel.
Someone has called me here today.
2 people have requested you. One is Michelle and the other one, I believe, who were the people that requested? Please put your name in the chat. Kathy, go ahead.
Elga can go first. She was waiting.
Elga, go ahead.
Hello?
We're just waiting. I don't believe it's
You're muted, Elga.
Here, I'm on mute.
Sorry. Okay. It's me, Elga Raguel.
Greetings, my love. How are you?
I'm fine. And you?
I'm well. What is your question?
Well, the question is, as we know that you are the angel of justice.
Yes.
And we would like to know a little bit more about what it is and what you're doing.
Well, the angel of justice is just that. I'm in charge of speaking to those that are in charge of justice, or speaking to those that have done injustice and need to be brought to justice. There are many different situations where I could speak or I could intervene with humanity. That is not to say that I've not done other things as well. There are times when on some planets they may need someone just to be an intercessor, or someone just to appear to help someone out, or to have the energy of healing to help in many ways. But yes, this is a dire time for your planet because there is a lot of injustice going on. And you may want to believe that this is a time where many good things are happening, but it is a time to take heed and bring those good things, because if you don't, they won't come.
Thank you. And as we are doing a daily circle of healing and intention, do you see that there is any impact from it, that there is any forward movement?
There is. No one stops. There is always change. There is always forward movement unless you go backwards. But you are not moving backwards. So you are always moving forward.
And does it have an impact on the general situation on this planet?
Yes, it does.
Thank you. That's all for now.
Very well.
Okay, Kathy, did you want to go ahead?
Yes, thank you. Hi, Archangel Raguel. Thank you for talking to us today. Elga had already asked the main question, because I was going to ask about how the justice of the earth is being played out right now.
There is many things going on with that, yes.
Okay. I called you in on one of our healing group meetings to help me personally with a situation for justification, for justice. Do you work with the people who have had things done to them as well, or do you work on the side of the person who needs to be prosecuted or brought to justice?
I work on the situation and how it is coming to light and the evidence that is found so that the person can be brought to justice. But those that are around that are seeking justice must be aware that there is more evidence than what they have found. And I try my best to give them those clues and evidences that they need to bring those people to justice and have fairness done.
I see. Okay. Then a personal question. Were you the angel that left the piece of the vehicle with the VIN number on my driveway with the accident? Okay, thank you. Are you going to take care of justice in this situation for me?
Your world takes care of your justice on your planet. I can only intervene and help when they listen.
Okay, Thank you. Well, thank you for the help that you have given me. Many blessings.
You are welcome.
Thank you so much. Okay, Kate, I believe that I skipped you earlier. Did you have a question you wanted to ask? Kate
No,
Pick?
I didn't. However, I do now.
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you for joining us, Archangel Raguel.
You're welcome.
As you know, you have been working with me for some time. I'm going to imagine, and I'm wondering if that situation that needed justice for me personally, and the world, of course, if that situation will ever come to fruition, or I should just like handle what I lost.
Well, remember this, I can only get through to certain people to let them know where the evidence is and what that is. If they cannot hear me or do not listen to me, then that evidence will be lost. Deal with it the way you are dealing with it at this time, because this is what you must do to move forward. But that does not mean I will not continue to work on this case.
Okay, I thank you for blessing me with your help. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. Michelle, you had a question?
Hi, Raguel. Thank you for coming. How do you go about serving divine justice for those attempting to block the ascension? You know, how does that process work? And is it all on your back? Is it just you that does that? Does that make you very busy? Or, you know, how does that work?
God, and in his wisdom, understands the situation. He sends the appropriate angels at the appropriate times to do whatever is necessary. But many times it will be me, but there are other angels that can also work with the ascension process and with those that are tampering with it. Now, in the case of your world, there are many that are just unaware of it, and many that are tampering with it, but there are also many that are carrying it out and keeping it ablaze. So, as we see, our main work is to keep the fire burning, keep it moving forward, and to take out of the way those that are trying to hinder it.
And do you work hand in hand with Uriel to do a lot of this?
Uriel, Michael, all the archangels, Raphael, Gabriel, Jamil, all the angels that are there for different reasons are all helping in their own special way to clear places for the ascension to move forward.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you coming. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, great. There is a question from, who is the next question from? From Julie. Go ahead, Julie. Julie, you don't have to type me the question. You can just say you have a question. And there,
yes.
Go ahead, Julie.
Yes.
Julie?
Yes.
You there?
Yes. Hello? Hello?
We can hear you. Go ahead with your question.
I have a question for my late brother that he passed away 1991.
I cannot hear you.
Is there any
that's
justice?
better, yes.
Yeah. Is there any justice for my brother that he died 1991? His name is Homer.
There is justice for him. But you may not see it, but there will be justice. Nevertheless, there is always justice for every injustice. So you may not see that justice in your 3D reality, but it does happen.
Okay. Right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. I think that's Elga wants to have a question. Elga?
Yes.
Not a question. I'd just like to say thank you for coming and I love you.
You're welcome, my dear.
Okay, thank you. There's a question from Sheer.
Hello, how are you?
Greetings.
I want to get some clarification from you. As I said earlier to another being, I started reading the trilogy Conversation with God, and it was mentioned at least 10 times that there's no punishment, that Hitler is in heaven. It was mentioned like at least 10 times. It says basically no matter what it is that you're doing here, it's all about the experience, you die, and then there's no consequences. This is basically what the book portrays. What is it? How accurate is the book, or that?
There are, well, let me tell you this. That's not quite accurate. Most beings do go to a positive place because it depends on their intentions for what they do, how they are judged. And even though some may seem to have been very terrible beings, they did not see themselves that way. They did not feel that they deserved that. So God will bring them up and talk to them about what they deserve and what kind of judgment he's going to do with them. Many times they do end up staying in a good place. There are those that believe they do not belong in a positive place and belong in somewhere else. They go to a different place that is not a positive place, but it is not hell either. It is something in between what you might think is a between heaven and hell, and they are actually counseled. And it may take many years for them to come to the realization that that what their existence was very different than what they thought it was. So but yes, most people do end up in a positive place.
So according to what it is that you're saying, let's say there's a religion, and that religion tells you that for doing some minor things you will go to hell, while those who organize that religion doing horrible things and things that they have God on their side. So those people who basically doing all the wrong things will eventually go to heaven because they believe that what it is that they are doing, it's good, or they are worthy to do so. And those people that they manipulate will go to that other place that you mentioned because they were manipulated by the other.
Let's see what their intentions are and what they actually believe they're doing. Let's see if they actually believe if they were good or not. So some of those people that you're talking about know exactly what they're doing, know exactly that they are not doing a good thing, and believe they are not going to go to a good place. So they will be judged differently than those that are believing that they're doing a good job. Now, the manipulation of the church to its people is a sad thing, and it is proliferated innocently by many people that are in those religions. They believe that these things are right, but many of those things were handed down and changed by man to manipulate the people, put fear in their hearts so they can be controlled. And that is how the world is treating its people right now. It's manipulating them by fear so they can be controlled and regimented, and they're seeing how successful that is.
Okay, so you know what? Let's go back to Hitler. After all that he have done, what kind of judgment that he got once he passed on?
Well, that was between God and him, so I don't know. But I can tell you this, he was not in his right mind toward the end of his terroristic reign. So I don't know how God handled that, but I know that he is in heaven at this time.
Okay, and so basically everyone can do whatever they want and there is no consequence. So why do we need judgment?
You can answer that for yourself. Now, there is judgment and there will be judgment and you will go through it, but it will not be what you think it is. So it's not that you can do whatever you want to do and that it's okay. That's not the way this works. But there will be a great deal of time. There was a great deal of time that Hitler was not around in heaven. I think he's there now, but I'm not sure. Yeah, he's there. He is. But for a long time, he wasn't.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yes, so it's not the judgment isn't like so easy that they got off scot-free or anything like that. You have to understand, nobody knows what happens when you leave this world and goes to the oversoul or goes to the places where you go. And you will have to understand that when you get there. There will be judgment for things that you do. And it may not be as easy as it sounds.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
You might have to experience some hellish things. I believe most people have to go through what they've put other people through. And in many cases, that can be very difficult.
This is something that I can resonate with.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay. Safira, did you have another question?
Yes. Thank you. Raguel, hello.
Yes.
Is there an organization behind the situations in America where Black men are being purposely killed by white policemen in order to incite a revolution in this country? It's because now there came out a second situation where the same exact thing happened. There was a Black man, there were policemen, they had their knee on his chest, he died. It's just, I just can't help feeling this is orchestrated. There's an organization who wants this country in a full-blown revolution.
Of course. Of course, there's others. Of course, they want violence to be stirred up. Of course, in this day and age, this is how they want people to be. They want them to be angry, incited. They want them to be divided. So yes, of course, there's definitely some organizations against peace. Absolutely.
I just don't know how to tell people around me who are like, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to tell people.
People believe what they want to believe. If you want to believe that someone is a god or a savior, then you will believe it. If you believe you have all the evidence you need. If they believe that they aren't, then they won't believe it. So no matter what you do to convince them, they're not going to believe it. So there's nothing you can say. They have to discover the truth for themselves in some ways, because hearing it from you is not going to change their minds.
Are there any from your side to counter the attempt at this kind of revolution?
There are those underground societies that are fighting it as well, because this is also an underground society that's causing it. Mm-hmm. So, but it is a fight, and it's a struggle, and there are those that are very against this kind of thing and will always be against it. And there are those that will always try to stir it up and always will.
Mhm. Okay, go ahead, Karen. Thank you very much.
I have a question following up on that. I mean, we are aware now of black men being killed, but black men have been killed since slavery started.
Yes.
This is an
But
ongoing
now-
thing. This is not new. It's just in the public, and now everyone has a camera.
Correct.
So it's not an organization that suddenly appeared out of nowhere. But how do we stop this now? How do
Well,
we
the thing
stop
is,
these black
there
men
are
being
those
killed?
that are setting some of these. There are those that are setting beatings up. There are those that are setting things up so people can see it and film it. There are
Well, I
those
think it
that
needs to
are
be seen. If it's happening, it needs to be seen, correct?
correct. So they are setting it up so it will be seen, and they are making sure that people will photograph it and record it. But they are also just doing it arbitrarily to cause separation and violence. There are situations where many have brought forth somebody in front of a camera and just beat them so that people can record it.
Okay. So how do
And
we
so
stop it?
how do you stop it?
Mhm.
This is going to be difficult because it's everyone's angry now and ready to fight. And so there'll be even more of it. But prayer and also they're trying to make things more difficult for the police to even do their job. There are good policemen, and some of those policemen that you saw were not even policemen. They were set in those clothes. In some of these states, people just dressed up as policemen and did whatever they wished.
Okay.
So
I
this
have
is a time when you have to be very vigilant, and the information that comes out is not always true. So it is difficult, but it will be stopped eventually.
All right.
But I cannot say how at the moment.
Okay. I know it's hard to know. Okay. Let me see if there's another question. Kat has a question.
It is, yes.
Yes, hi. Hello, Raguel.
Greetings.
Just a short, I have a suggestion. We have in Vancouver, we have a rally on 13 September. I would like very much if you can assist the crowd and bring as many people as possible.
Of course. If it's peaceful.
Yes, it's a peaceful demonstration and it's against brainwashing and agenda. And yeah, it's a peaceful official rally, and I just want to, if you can assist and bring as many beings and angels and God there, and bless the crowd and bring as many people as possible.
Very well. We
Thank
will
you. I
look and see
appreciate
what it is, and the appropriate people will come.
it. Exactly. Yes. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
We're out of time. Would you leave us with a blessing?
Yes, I will.
Okay.
Dear God, bless this group. Fill them with love and justice, peace and understanding, hope for the future. Raise them up and give them courage in this time, for it is a time of great fear. It's a time of great dissuasion. It's a time of great misunderstanding, misjudgment, misinformation. Many believe they're fighting on the right side, and then they will come to find that they were not. Dear Lord, come and bring truth and understanding to each and every one. Bring love, guidance, and beauty. Bring healing. Bring self-awareness. Take away many of these political views that do not resonate with the world. Bring the truth to all. Let us fall in love with our leaders, but only to bring them into a right understanding of who they are, a true understanding of where they're going. Love one another. Keep one another safe. Learn to pray in greater ways. Fill yourself with the love of God and the fellowship of that Spirit. Keep yourselves away from sin and danger. But do not be afraid to stand up for justice, to stand up for those that are being ill-treated, for those that are being lied against, for those that are being held accountable for things they did not do.
Thank you.
Let God's love rule the day and be the light on your path. Many blessings.
Thank you. Many blessings.
Hello.
Hello, welcome back.
Hi.
Hi. So we're really out of time. So since we had such a beautiful blessing with Raguel, we'll stop there. And I
Okay.
think that's a beautiful conclusion.
All
Yeah.
right.
And thank you, Don, for who's leaving. He's got to go to another
Okay, very good.
chat, but thank you so much, Don.
Have a great day, everybody.
Thank you very much.
You too, Jim.
Oh,
All
and
right.
next week, everybody,
Thank
next
you.
week,
Bye.
next week we have a great guest. Someone we haven't seen in a long time. Brian Sims is going to be channeling.
Yay, I love it. Yeah,
Yay.
very good.
So very exciting.
Excellent.
Yeah. Okay, and we'll see you, Jim, in 2 weeks. If everyone in the YouTube like and subscribe, please.
All
And
right.
yeah,
Very good.
we'll see you again in 2 weeks, Jim. Have a wonderful.
All right. Have a great day, everybody.
session.
Bye.
Thank you.
You
Thank
too,
you, Jim.
Jim.
Bye-bye.